So Aunt Jessica, it seems the little nugget is growing into the harness quite nicely. So, hi, I'm Marion, the Inappropriate Artist, and as you heard, that was Nuggets. And wow, the light on my head makes me look bald right now. But I don't care. I'm feeling way too much gratitude right now. You know, often people talk about the perfect storm, and it is a negative thing. I'm here to tell you that it also can happen in a positive way. So I, as you know, am working very much on limited funds, and there's a lot I don't know about this life I've chosen, and I'm finding out as I go. Oh, hang on. I'm parked at a boat launch, so occasionally this happens. I discovered, as some of you may know because you may have seen it on Facebook. So what happened was I made a decision to come to this spot. It was kind of like a last minute choice, right? And it's really in the middle of nowhere, sort of. And we're on the edge of nowhere here. And I came, I charged up, I made it, I got here, and I parked in one spot, and the sun started to hit the vehicle, and I realized I needed to find a more consistent shady spot. So I had to get away from the water's edge and come into the woods a little bit up the road. Still close to the water, as I'm on Moosehead Lake, and but far enough away that I could be in the shade. Anyway, so I backed up, turned around, and parked. Well, the guy parked in front of me, Jay, thank you. Again, I know, I said it a lot. You and Melissa were a huge help if you're watching. Thank you. He was coming up from the lake and saw that my van had left a trail of some kind of fluid, right? So we did a little investigating, and he got underneath the van and found that the leak was coming from my oil filter. I turned on the engine. He asked me to turn on the engine. I turned on the engine, and it just sprayed oil. He's like, shut it off. So I shut it off, and we determined that no matter what, I was going to need oil in order to get out of here to get it to a mechanic. And one of the other guys here, his father was on his way, so he offered to text him and get him to... Whoops, what are you jumping about? Sorry, she's going crazy right now. Okay, I think she calmed down. So he offered to text him to have him bring the oil down. So that happened, right? But in the meantime, I realized I don't have any cash. And I actually zoomed by accident. There we go. That's better. So I didn't have any cash. I had $2 in cash. And I have $43 in my checking account, right? So my heart is exploding in my chest. And I'm thinking, oh God, how am I going to pay for this? And then I said, well, I can Venmo you the money. And he must have seen the panic on my face. And he's like, well, what do you got? And what do you do? And he said, I hear you're painting. And I said, well, I'll show you my paintings. So I showed him my paintings. And he asked me to he commissioned me to paint the cove we're at, because I'd already done a little sketch of it, and he saw that. And so he asked for a bigger one. And then he gave me, cash for it, which was fabulous. So then, when the next morning, I was going to leave earlier, and I decided to hang out and enjoy my coffee. Such a pretty spot. What's the rush? I can't get there any faster anyway because of my situation, right? So I decided that I heard them talking about a general store that was closer. And so I went down to talk to one of the guys who, um, was going in and out. And I knew he knew where the store was or whereabouts it was. And I went to ask him, more precise directions to it. And he's like, I don't like the sounds of this. I want to look at it. So he crawled underneath my van and checked it out. And he's like, you're not going to get anywhere near the store. This thing is going to take that quart of oil and piss it out before you even get down the road. So you're going to be calling for a tow with a cracked engine block and a heartbeat. We got to change this here and see if that works. And so he's like, I'm taking you to Napa and we're going to go get the parts. I didn't have to ask for anything. So we went to Napa. It's Sunday, not Saturday, by the way. And we're both like, oh, hope it's open. Get there. Cars in the parking lot, lights on inside, open sign is lit. And yes, they were open and very kind. And we got everything we needed, including a oil pan. So now I own an oil pan, which I never owned before. Got to find a place for it in the van. But I'm keeping it. So we got everything we needed, and I had the cash to pay for it because the other guy had bought the painting, right? And whose name I can't remember. I'm so sorry if you're watching this. I can't remember your name, but I am so grateful because none of this could have worked out if you hadn't bought that painting. I wouldn't have had enough money. It's just the way it is. I had $43 and it was $53 for all the stuff. So, thank you. And so we got all the stuff. We got back here and he took the filter off. And he's like, first of all, the filter was tightened too tight. Second of all, it was misthreaded. The fact that it didn't start leaking until now is pretty much a miracle. This is what I mean about good, perfect storms, right? We got back here, we finished up, and I decided since he didn't ask for anything, I wanted to give him one of my paintings that I'd done of the cove yesterday. Because I'm doing little ones. And so he picked a painting. And then while I was showing that to him, the other guy who commissioned the painting came and bought the other one. So an extra, bit of money in my pocket to replace what I had to spend getting all the oil and the pan and everything else. So no, I don't have a lot. But I am more fortunate than those who have their billions and they live in their little isolation chambers because they can't. This could have happened. Nobody could have been here, right? This could have happened out in the wilderness because that's where I'm headed next, right? So the perfect storm of goodness and gratitude. I was open enough to listen. I was brave enough to ask for help from strangers. And I learned today that I can do this. I can do this. And I can keep doing this. So, when things go wrong, or when things happen, right? It's not necessarily that they're going wrong, they're just happening. We do have choices. in how much we can, or at least I can, right? I'll speak for myself. Look at her in the background there, just chilling. She's happy to be outside. It's that how. How? What does that stand for? Honest, open, willing. I can be all of those things. If I hadn't have been honest, if I hadn't have been open, if I hadn't have been willing, I wouldn't have seen the solutions that were like smattered all around me. All around me. I remember a time when I never would have seen any of that. I would have stayed in my little hole. And believed the lie that I have to do everything myself. Always. That's a lie. I don't have to do everything myself. I can ask for help. And others are willing to help. Solutions are available. Look how easily and willing that guy was to help me out. And it wasn't for anything. He didn't ask for anything. Not at all. You know, I had a friend who I was on the phone with, D, who's like, you know, is he a creeper? No. I'm surrounded by families. And, you know, we can do all of this respecting each other's health and wishes without endangering each other, you know. And if I get corona because I asked for help, so be it. But I kind of doubt that. Just because I also believe stuff like this doesn't happen so that things can get worse, right? I am in such a good place. Not just where, location-wise, but in my head and in my heart. And this proved it to me. If I needed evidence, if I had any doubts, this whole weekend proved it to me. Right? So thank you. Woo! Shit. Oh, darn it. Nuggets. You're going to get caught on something and hurt yourself. And I don't know what you're after, but you're not getting it. So, a big thank you to everyone who helped out this weekend. If the woods look different behind me, it's because I had to get up and get Nugget. I accidentally let go of the leash. And she hopped away, chasing after a butterfly or something. But yeah, so, long list. Sarah, for being willing to help. She was like, you know, if you can get here, I've got someone who can help you out. Dina, for being there when I needed her again. Thank you, Dina. And Ricky, that's his name. The guy who helped with the van and fixing the van and changed my filter for me. Ricky, thank you. And to the other gentleman whose name I can't remember, who bought the paintings, thank you. To Jay and Melissa, thank you. You saw it, you helped me, and you were moral support, whether you knew it or not. And to the couple sitting down by the beach, thank you. I got to process everything because you guys asked all the right questions. And now I'm going to cry because I am full. Of relief, yes. But I am so full of gratitude. that's it. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for following my channel. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you consider doing so. If you like it, thumbs up. And if you'd like to contribute to my journey to help me keep going, taking care of these things when they happen, I have links below. One's to my Patreon page. That's a monthly membership. The other is my PayPal account. Or you can go to Instagram, check out my paintings at theinappropriateartist. Buy a painting. It goes a long way. Seriously. Have a fabulous week, everybody. Stay open, stay honest, stay willing, and solutions will be there. Take care. Bye.